if you want to learn about leadership, one of the classic ways was to come to the library, and there are so many voices about leadership. I was very excited when I discovered that one of my favourite authors of leadership is at QUT and agreed to talk to us. I'm talking with Professor Fenwick English, and I'm interested in the role of emotion in leadership, because it's not something that you see in many workplace training where they're talking about emotions, other than maybe to minimise them. So Fen, why should we think about emotions in leadership?
Well, you'd only be dealing with a half a human being if you didn't deal with emotion. It's a tragedy that some of our theories of leadership refuse to deal with that, because also they refuse to deal with issues of morality, issues for ethics, because there's no science of morality, there's no science of ethics, and so science is sort of the last refuge of the person who's totally committed to the idea that life is totally rational, in which case I think that's irrational, because a rational person would find that life is irrational as well as rational, you know. So we act and think and go through life with emotion. I think great leaders know the role of emotion and allow themselves to be emotional and not try to eliminate it from themselves. I don't know how you can connect with other human beings if you have no emotion. You'd be talking to a robot. You know? I mean, I can talk to my computer about as well.
I usually just shout at my computer.
Yeah, that's right.
You were telling me a story that used the Star Wars metaphor when it came to emotion. Can you tell that to me again, please?
Well, this was a conversation about the role of emotion from Joseph Campbell and his book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, which identified universal themes in mythology. And Campbell's universal themes, George Lucas used in Star Wars. It's also behind Lord of the Rings, and any of the major films that involve stories and metaphors are all using Joseph Campbell's basic divisions. But the conflict in Star Wars between Darth Vader is the ultimate non-feeling, non-emotional person, and he is the dark side. And the hero is the representative of the feeling and emotion part of the human being. You know, and there's this scene where they're battling, and Darth says, "Come over to the dark side, Luke."
Yes.
You know, and Luke says, "I'll never come over to your side." It's really a dialogue between the brain and the body. You know, the body is saying, "I'm never gonna, you know, let you run everything, because life is not like that," and that is an eternal struggle. And it's too bad that our science of leadership has eliminated much of that. I think to the detriment of the study of leadership. I don't think without that you know much about it.
And I really enjoyed reading some of the feminist critiques of leadership that talk about leadership as an embodied performance. What does an embodied performance mean?
There's no way performing can be outside the body, the physical body. And the physical body communicates. I think the studies of body language show that 93% of the way we communicate is nonverbal, and only 7% of it is verbal. So if all you're concentrating on is the 7%, you're missing that. You're not using the form of communication which we all require. We're really not aware of the extent to which body language and nonverbal communication do communicate. Politicians have become increasingly aware of the importance of body language, to the point where many of them get coaching, you know, and on how to communicate and deal with an audience with just their body language. It's an amazing phenomenon, but you can't communicate as effectively if you don't see the body.
And I think often change is felt in the body too. So I know many leaders who have stress-related health issues when they haven't been paying attention to their body. It's been more like all about the brain and not so much the emotions in the body.
Right, that's what Joseph Campbell says. If you fail to take into account the body, you'll become sick. And the body should lead the brain and not the other way around.
Thank you for reflecting out loud with me. You've given my brain some food for thought, and now I'm going to work on my body a little bit.
Thank
you, Fen.
Oh, you're welcome.